going to change. Right hand in the left to one.
The biggest fight in MMA.
I am the queen of women's MMA.
Fighting for a world championship as if the purse would change their lives, and that's exactly what's going to happen for a belt and $1 million.
The PFL World Championship is here and on pay-per-view starting at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. To buy, go to espnplus.com/PFL and click Get Now. Welcome, PFL fight fans, and happy Thanksgiving. New York City once again playing host to the PFL World Championships. Welcome to the weigh-ins. Kayla Harrison, Larissa Pacheco, Brendan Loughnane, Bubba Jenkins. That main event and co-main event are just 2 of 6 world title fights. 6 $1 million prizes to be given out at Madison Square Garden in Hulu Theater. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Sean O'Connell here for the World Championship weigh-ins, and very, very happy to have reached the culmination of our 2022 PFL season. I just showed you the main event and the co-main event, and those people earned their spots in a championship in a way that might be just a little bit unfamiliar to the average MMA fan. So let me explain for you how this works. 10 fighters in each weight class. We have 6 different weight classes. 2 regular season fights for each fighter. You earn regular season points for wins. 3 points for a win, bonus points for a finish in any round. The top 4 fighters in each division advance to the playoffs, and if you can make it through those playoffs, you earn your spot here in the PFL Championships, where the winner gets a $1 million check and a beautiful gold belt. I got one of those.
Show off.
Kenny Florian and Randy Couture here, and guess what, fellas? It's championship week. Let's start with our main event, Kayla Harrison and Larissa Pacheco. Let me show you how they got here. The women's playoff bracket looked just like this. Larissa Pacheco took on Olena Kolesnik, scores the knockout finish there, and advances as the number 1 seed, I might add, to the championship. Kayla Harrison took down Martina Yandrova, dominated that fight, and here she is in her 3rd straight PFL championship. Randy, what more can be said about Kayla Harrison going now for her 3rd $1 million prize, her 3rd PFL belt? How does she get it done?
Well, I think she goes out and does what she's been doing, which is gets her hands on somebody, takes him to the mat, and then decides how she wants to finish him. This is absolutely the most dominant athlete in our sport right now. Textbook double leg takedown there, bounces her off the cage, puts her on the deck, and that's exactly where she wants her opponents. She smothers them, she'll mount them, she'll find a way to submit them if she can. She'll take your arm home with you if you're not careful.
Randy makes the great point that Kayla Harrison is a big-time finisher. And guess what? One of the only women in her career she hasn't been able to finish is Larissa Pacheco, who she faces for the 3rd time in the championship bout tomorrow night. Now, this is a different Larissa Pacheco. I think it's safe to say that, given she's coming off 5 straight knockout finishes. But is she different enough to finally beat the boogeyman in her career, Kayla Harrison?
Well, first of all, let's look at the proof. They haven't faced each other since 2019. In combat sports, things move so quickly and so much can change during that period of time. You look at Larissa, first of all, physically, she looks completely different than she did back in 2019. She's been working really hard on getting better conditioning, on being stronger, and you can see evidence of that. Not only the way she looks, but in her performances as well. 5 knockout finishes, as you mentioned, Sean, all coming in the 1st round. That's how dominant she has been. If she lands her hands on you, whether it's her left hand or right hand, she can absolutely knock you out. I think she has proven that she is one of the most powerful female strikers in the world today. And you talk about her experience now, her confidence heading into this fight. She's been residing here in the United States, working on her grappling skill, making sure that she can withstand those takedowns and have the conditioning to get the knockout when she needs it.
So is an upset brewing in that main event women's lightweight championship? We'll find out tomorrow night. The co-main event features our men's featherweights, Brendan Loughnane and Bubba Jenkins. How did they get here? Let's take a look at the featherweight playoff bracket. Chris Wade, looked like he was unbeatable this year. The number 1 seed heading into the playoffs, and Brendan Loughnane squeaked in and, boy, put on the performance of his life in front of a home crowd in London, earned his spot in the championship. Bubba Badman Jenkins put on a flawless display against Ryoji Kudo, the hard-hitting player out of Japan, and Bubba looked incredible. We saw grappling, we saw striking, we saw a little bit of everything from Bubba in that fight. Kenny Florian, let's talk about Brendan Loughnane, though. When I say he looked great against Chris Wade, that's probably an understatement. That was the best fight of his career.
Absolutely saved his best performance for his last one. Came into this season not feeling great. He was pretty busted up, had a knee injury, but all of that didn't matter. When he faced Chris Wade, he was 100%, and we saw what Brendan Loughnane is capable of, and he did it against a very capable wrestler. Chris Wade was having his best season, but it was not enough against Loughnane, who was able to determine the proper distance, use long-range strikes, stop those takedown attempts, and look phenomenal. A great fight in preparation for this final here against Bubba.
Look, we all love a good old classic striker versus wrestler matchup. And Randy, I know you love a good wrestler in the sport of mixed martial arts, but I don't think it's fair to call Bubba a wrestler anymore, especially in that Kudo fight. We saw a complete mixed martial artist. Will he have to bring that to get a championship?
He'll absolutely have to bring that to this. And what's interesting about this, these two over Chris Wade, because they both fought Chris Wade, became friends. And who's going to check that at the door so they can go out and do their job? That's what's interesting. On paper, it looks like a wrestler versus a striker. We know that Bubba Jenkins is a national champion for Arizona State. He uses his wrestling very, very effectively. Here you're going to see him pull him up and throw him in the big suplex. Very nicely done. He has an ability to smother you, get on top of you, and make your life miserable. But the big improvement we've seen this year is he's improved his striking a ton. Working with Dewey Cooper, that loss in 2021 to Chris Wade checked his ego, motivated him, and now we're seeing his hands come on point. He's become a well-rounded mixed martial artist now.
So for our main event and our co-main event, we have world title fights with $1 million prizes. 2 of them. Just kidding. We have 6 of them all on the same card. It is the biggest night in mixed martial arts. It is the richest night in mixed martial arts. You can see the odds. Kayla Harrison is a huge favorite over Larissa Pacheco. And then there's Brendan Loughnane, who's a slight favorite over Bubba Jenkins. The heavyweight championship, Ante Dilia and Mateusz Scheffel. That's actually a rematch from the first regular season bout this year. In that one, Ante scored a knockout victory over Mateusz, who's looking for revenge. We'll take a little break in the middle of our card from the world title action as Aspen Ladd and Julia Budd face off in a featherweight showcase bout. Aspen Ladd, of course, making her highly anticipated PFL debut. The lightweight world title, OAM, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, is undefeated so far inside the PFL Smart Cage. He will look to remain so against the Scottish grappling specialist Stevie Ray, who's coming off back-to-back victories over the legendary Anthony Pettis. At welterweight, Sada Boussi finally booked his ticket to a championship bout. He's been part of all 4 PFL seasons, started out as a middleweight, dropped to welterweight, and this is the first time he has an opportunity to take home that $1 million check. He's been here for 4 years, and Delano Taylor has barely been here for 1 season. He started in the Challenger Series. He got a late notice fight in the regular season, and he finds himself as an underdog here in the welterweight championship. And we'll start the action, world title action, in everyone's favorite weight class as Robert Wilkinson and Omari Akhmedov square off for a light heavyweight world title. That, of course, promises to be exciting, both big-time finishers. Randy, any one of these fights, not the main or co-main, that you're most looking for?
You just mentioned it, that Rob Wilkinson fight. He's been on fire the whole season. Let's see if he can do what he's been doing to everybody else against the Dagestani, Omari Akhmedov.
Kenny, same question for you.
You know, for me, it's the heavyweights. Ante Dilia taking on Mateusz Scheffel. This is a rematch from earlier in the season. Ante Dilia has already established himself, in my opinion, as one of the best heavyweights in the world. And for Mateusz Scheffel, he beat Bruno Capoloza, last year's world champion, a guy who beat Ante Dilia. So this is a fascinating fight. I don't think this one's going the distance.
Ante came this close to a heavyweight championship last night. So those are our 6 world title fights, but the action actually begins on ESPN Plus at 5:30 Eastern Time. These showcase bouts. Marlon Moraes is back. He'll take on Shayman Moraes, the 2-time lightweight champion Natan Schultz, taking on Jeremy Stevens. That one promises to be an exciting affair. Maga Millions is back against Gleison Chibao in a catchweight bout. We've seen Dakota Ditcheva one time. She's back to take on Catherine Koraginas, and Biagio Ali Walsh and Tom Gracer both making their PFL debuts to start the evening. Without further ado, we'll get these fighters on the scale and make these weigh-ins official. But first, let me introduce PFL President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo. As I said up first, will be lightweight action at 155 pounds, an amateur showcase. Biagio Ali Walsh, Tom Gracer. Fighting first out of the blue corner, Tom Gracer. Official weight 154 3/4 pounds. His opponent, Biagio Ali Walsh. Official weight 154 3/4 pounds. Second bout of the evening will be a women's flyweight contest between Dakota Ditcheva out of the UK, Catherine Koraginas out of the USA. First to the scale, Catherine Koraginas. Official weight 124 1/4 pounds. Her opponent in the red corner, Dakota Ditcheva. Official weight 125 1/2 pounds. Up next, a catchweight bout at 175 pounds, Magomed Karamov and Gleison Chibao. Fighting first out of the blue corner, Gleison Chibao. Official weight 174 1/2 pounds. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, Magomed Karamov. Official weight 175 3/4 pounds. a lightweight feature. Two-time PFL lightweight champion Natan Schultz taking on the hard-hitting Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens. Fighting first out of the blue corner, Jeremy Stevens. Official weight 155 3/4 pounds. And fighting out of the red corner, Natan Schultz. Official weight 155 1/2 pounds. Our final showcase bout of the evening tomorrow will be a featherweight affair, Marias versus Marias. Marlon versus Shimon. Fighting first out of the blue corner, Shimon Marias. Official weight 145 3/4 pounds. And fighting out of the red corner, Marlon Marias. Official weight for Marlon Marias, 146. So that bout will conclude our ESPN Plus undercard, and from there we'll go to ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
What up, fight fans? It's Kayla Harrison here. The queen of MMA is coming to ESPN Plus pay-per-view. ESPN Plus is the home for the 2022 PFL World Championship on Black Friday, November 25th, live from Madison Square Garden. You want to go right now, Pacheco? Go to espnplus.com/PFL and click Get Now. Don't miss the richest night in MMA.
PFL World Championship pay-per-view starts at 8 Eastern tomorrow, Black Friday. To buy, go to espnplus.com/PFL and click Get Now. Our world title bouts will begin at light heavyweight. Robert Wilkinson out of Australia, Omari Akhmedov representing Dagestan. Fighting out of the blue corner, Omari Akhmedov. Official weight, 202 3/4 pounds. His opponent in the red corner, Robert Wilkinson. Official weight, 204 1/2 pounds. Next to the scale for a welterweight world title fight, Sadabusi, the Swedish Denzel, and Delano Taylor, American fighter by way of Jamaica. And fighting out of the blue corner, Delano Taylor. Official weight, 169.5 for Delano Taylor. And fighting out of the red corner, Sadabu C. Official weight, 169.5 for Sadabu C. The PFL Lightweight World Championship will be decided between Olivier Aubin-Mercier, OAM, taking on Stevie Braveheart Ray. First to the scale, Stevie Ray. Official weight, 154.5 pounds. And fighting out of the red corner, Olivier Aubin-Mercier. $154.5 for OAM. Next bout on the card, a non-championship showcase bout at women's featherweight. Aspen Ladd and Julia Budd. Fighting out of the blue corner, Julia Budd. £146 for Julia Budd. And fighting out of the red corner, Aspen Ladd. £145.5 for Aspen Ladd. Back to the title fights, this one at heavyweight. Ante Dilia out of Croatia, Mateusz Scheffel representing Brazil. Fighting out of the blue corner, Mateusz Scheffel. Official weight, 256.5 pounds. And his opponent in the red corner, Ante Dilia. Official weight for Dilia, 241.75. Up next will be the co-main event, Featherweight World Championship. Brendan Loughnane out of the United Kingdom, Bubba Jenkins representing the United States. Fighting first out of the blue corner, Bubba Jenkins. £145 even for the bad man. And fighting out of the red corner, Brendan Loughnane. Official weight 144 3/4 pounds. We'll take a look at our tail of the tape for that co-main event. Brendan Loughnane, 32 years of age. Bubba Jenkins is 34. Loughnane is 1 inch taller, both men weighing in at the championship limit of 145 pounds. 1 inch reach advantage favoring Bubba Jenkins on the arms. 2 inch reach advantage for Bubba on the legs. And Kenny Florian is standing by with the bad man.
Sean, thank you very much. I'm here with Bubba Badman Jenkins. This is the most intense we've seen you all season. Why so intense?
It's go time. Putting all the games, all the talking aside. Nothing but action. One-way traffic. No breaks. Care less about anything we've ever talked about. I'm coming to crush him. I'm coming to crush him.
You've been talking about going out there, putting on a great performance, and getting a finish. How do you get that done, man?
4th round, being the bad man. I got no games to play. I got nothing else to talk about with him. I'm done smiling at him. I'm done communicating with him. I'm going to bring these hands, and I'm going to cut that turkey up tomorrow.
Bubba, I can feel the intensity, man. Amazing season so far. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Bubba. He's been saying it. Loughnane's only a 3-round fighter. This, of course, is a 5-round world championship fight, Randy.
I mean, I don't know if there's any merit to that, but it does make men out of you getting into those championship rounds. That 4th and 5th round will tell the tale.
Bubba Jenkins never lacks for intensity, but as Kenny mentioned, that's the most intense we've seen him, especially in a weigh-in setting.
You've seen him much more humble and kind of calm Bubba this season, and it's paid off for him. He's looked great. His hands look great. Great improvement there. I think this little friendship that they developed now has to be put to the side, and that's where Bubba's coming from right now.
Kenny Florian is standing by with Bubba's opponent, Brendan Loughnane.
Sean, thank you very much. A lot of people looking from the outside in are saying, hey, this is just a grappler versus striker matchup. Why are they wrong?
Because you look at both our records, how many fights we've got between us. We've both done 2 seasons of PFL now. We know what it takes. And this is much more than a grappler versus striker.
It seemed like this was a season where you just kept getting better and better. Last season, we saw you go against another wrestler, Movlid Khabalayev. Why is this fight going to be different? Now, of course, this is for the championship. Last season was semifinals.
Chris Wade, Movlid Khabalayev, Pat Healy, Tyler Diamond. I fought wrestlers my whole career. Anyone I've ever fought for 15 years has tried to take me down. I'm used to this. This is the exact same again. And tomorrow night I'll prove how great I am and I'll get that world title and bring it back to Manchester. That's exactly what's happening.
Brendan, I'm so excited for this fight, man. I can't wait. Sean, back to you.
Thank you. Worth noting, by the way, Bubba Jenkins lurking in the background, watching that interview. This is an intense bad man. Woo! Looking forward to that co-main event. Featherweight world title. But now time for our main event. Kayla Harrison, the 2-time PFL champion, taking on, for the 3rd time, Larissa Pacheco. And to the scale first, out of the blue corner, Larissa Pacheco. Official weight, 154 1/4 pounds. And her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Kayla Harrison. $154.5 for the two-time PFL lightweight champion. A closer look. A look at the tail of the tape here in this Women's Lightweight World Championship. Kayla Harrison is 4 years older. She is also 2 inches taller. 3-inch reach advantage on the arms favoring Larissa Pacheco. And a 4-inch reach advantage on the legs favors Harrison. Kenny Florian has Larissa Pacheco.
Sean, thank you very much. Larissa, did you get anything out of that stare down there? That was your third time staring down with Kayla Harrison. Anything from that?
Você extraiu alguma coisa dessa encarada aí? Agora é a terceira vez que você encara a Kayla. Alguma coisa diferente?
Não, nada diferente. Eu tô despreocupado aqui, só vim fazer meu trabalho.
It's been a couple years since you guys last faced each other. Why is this fight going to be different?
So, as far as that answer, no issue there. Just came out here to do my work. I'm calm, cool, and collected. Qual a estratégia?
A estratégia? Vencer.
Strategies to win.
Yeah, and why is this fight going to be different? How's it going to be different?
Por que essa luta vai ser diferente? Como vai ser diferente?
Os anos são diferentes. Acho que tanto eu quanto ela estamos diferentes. Eu já mostrei aí o meu trabalho e o que eu venho fazendo, então eu só chego lá e mostro o que eu sei fazer.
And Larissa, what's your prediction for this fight? How do you win?
So it's different years, different point in time. I've been showing over my past fights, you know, what I'm capable of. So just tune in tomorrow and you'll see. The last question.
Yeah, how does she win this fight?
Como é que você ganha essa luta?
Aí vocês vão ter que assistir.
You're just gonna have to watch and see.
Larissa, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Randy. So, I mean, good questions. How is this one going to be different? When you've seen it twice before and Kayla victorious twice before, well, how is it going to be different?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. We're certainly seeing a different physical Larissa Pacheco now, a more aggressive Larissa Pacheco now, 5-fight win streak, literally first-round knockouts. I mean, she has been a different fighter last season and this season. Really, I think the onus is always on the person that won the other fights. What is she going to change? How is she going to approach me differently? What can she learn and do differently? And that's sometimes hard to figure out.
And the credit to Kayla Harrison, because she's gotten to this point in her career without really getting cracked once, without getting hit hard once. And we've seen the power from Larissa Pacheco. So the question in this fight is, what happens if Larissa lands big?
There's a great question, and I'm sure, and we all know where Kayla trains and that she's been punched in practice, but it's a little bit different under the lights when it's all on the line, and let's see how that goes.
Kenny Florian has the two-time champion, Kayla Harrison.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah, Kayla, you know, Larissa has made big improvements with her striking. That is clear. She seems like she's a different fighter. Are you buying that?
No. I mean, listen, that we obviously fought, you know, we fought for the first time my 4th fight and my 6th fight or 7th fight. That was 10 fights ago. So, yeah, obviously she's improved, but so have I. I expect the best version of her tomorrow night, and she's going to get the best version of me tomorrow night.
Is that what it comes down to? You know, do you think she has closed the gap at all as far as your improvement versus hers?
I mean, I just think that I've excelled exponentially. You know, I think that I'm on a one-way track and I'm only going forward. Obviously, she has made progress. She has, but it's not at the speed that I'm making it. And I didn't lose a round of either of those fights. So I just don't see it going. I'm going to go out there 1 minute at a time, 1 round at a time, 1 exchange at a time, 1 breath at a time, and I'm going to instill my will. And I expect to break her.
How do you expect to win this fight?
The goal is TKO, KO, or submission, but I'm prepared for everything. 5 hard rounds. I'm prepared to get her out of there early. Whatever happens, happens. But it's going to be Kayla Harrison tomorrow night.
Excited for this main event, Kayla. Good luck.
Thank you.
Sean, back to you.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Kayla. And Randy, that's really, I guess, the other question here. Both fighters have improved over the 3-ish years since they fought last.
Yep.
Who has improved faster and whose skill sets kind of cancel the other out?
I mean, it's really who goes out and has their way tomorrow night, who gets it done, who forces the fight to happen where they want it to happen. That's what it boils down to.
Kayla Harrison, 2-time champion already, 2 victories over Larissa Pacheco. And you saw in one of the graphics there, Larissa is one of the only people who have pushed Kayla to a decision. She's a big-time finisher. Can potentially a 5-round fight frustrate the queen of mixed martial arts? We'll find out in a main event tomorrow. Kayla Harrison, Larissa Pacheco, and then a co-main with Bubba and Brendan, and 4 other title fights in addition to those. That's 6 total, 6 $1 million prizes. You better be there. There's Kayla Harrison.
I told you I'd put you on your back and I messed you up.
Larissa Pacheco on a different level.
Surgical punching with big power.
An armbar victory for the baddest woman on the planet.
I am the queen of MMA.
Oh, Pacheco, apocalyptic down.
Kayla rushes in. Dropping a takedown.
Pacheco with a big TKO. Kayla Harrison secures back-to-back PFL championship.
Pacheco, we know she only needs 1 punch to put her opponent away.
It doesn't get any better than this in the sport of mixed martial arts. The biggest fight in PFL history. Yeah, go back and see John. Okay.